They can find a target down there. They're right in this game, boys.
Reid, another 3 marks in that term. That's his forte, those defensive marks. One down by Jolly, Pendlebury, Johnson, sweeping hand pass, side bottom, back to the run of Thomas. Goes out wide, coming up on the lead, sliding, taking the mark low down his cloak. Immediately wants to go. Good aggressive play, not such a good kick. Well, Hill spilled it. Blair, Didak, inside the forward 50. Oh, wonderful. Mzungu going back. Jolly was coming the other way. And Mzungu took the mark. Jolly's a big man. I point that out to Mzungu. He'll know that when he watches the tape. He was oblivious to it right there. Hill's got the footy.
He's got a name like a warrior, looks like a warrior, and he plays like one, doesn't he?
Jolly.
Roger. It was some mark. Thomas on the up to Beams. Terrific opening turn by Beams. Just misses Didak. Blair's quick though. Runs onto it hard. Sweeps it to Wood. Wood from 48. Caressing to Cracker. Subban. Well done. Played it well in the end.
Here's the mark here. Stephen Hill dropped the one before, and that's just the opposite of it. Eyes on the footy there by Mzungu. Fantastic effort.
So Main in the back half. I mean, their main goal scorer through the year. Poor kick by Hubertson. Goldsack is playing like he's got white line fever a bit tonight. Sinclair, good hands to Jolly, to Reid. Reid with that long lefty, but not a great kick, and Fawkes to chop it off. He's only played the 2 games against Carlton and Collingwood, so he's picked his company pretty well, hasn't he?
Yep. Here's Subban. Opposite pocket.
Thank you.
Maybe they contributed, Bruce, to the fact that, well, Carlton may have, at least, but he didn't play more than just the one. Didn't see that game, but obviously it didn't go too well. Over the top, Clark. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to the man who was jousting at ground level. So it's coming back and will be taken by Barlow.
Wow.
Barlow feeds it back inside the defensive 50. Duffield just jabs it around the corner. Anthony, former Magpie. There's quite a few Collingwood supporters in the house tonight too. Subban back to Anthony. Anthony across the ground. They're looking to penetrate now. Hill. There's a raking kick normally, told to play on, cramps himself for room, so he gives this one plenty of air. Not initially his intention. As a result, wonderful work by Reid coming back. And some good blocking too, safeguarding Reid's passage back. Has enabled him, you can see Jolly, it enabled Reid to get the footy.
Hi, Jack Anthony.
So Anthony's free. He only had 5 disposals in both the games he played this year. Anthony's up to 10 tonight, so he's doubled his yearly disposals. Fife running hard and then taking the cheeky bounce and then kicking the ball inside. Can they take a mark inside the 50? Bradley did well. He's already kicked 1. He should kick a second. And he doesn't. He misses. He was up and about early this year, wasn't he, Kepler?
Yeah, had some really good patch. But when Fremantle were really going, he was almost one of those bonus players. He had a really good patch.
Different role for Lee Brown tonight, obviously, with Chris Tarrant out having to anchor down one of the key defensive posts.
Fawkes over the top, got a fist on it, runs close to the boundary line. Pearce. I see Crowley not very happy, admonishes Pearce for that kick. He was on the short lead. Sometimes you can't always see them. Goldsack just jabs it along the boundary line, taken by Tuvey. So the margin as it was at quarter time, 24 points. Tuvey sends it high, just short of the wing from behind. Anthony does brilliantly, knocks it forward. Dangerous ball to contend with for Collingwood, but Fremantle helped them out. Cracker gets onto a loose ball. Johnson could have been taken high, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Just watching the game at the moment, Fremantle adopting a really strong one-on-one mentality. So their work at the contest has actually been pretty good. Yeah. Where they need to get on top is that offensive running away from the stoppage, which Collingwood is just so strong at.
Looked a bit high in the zone. No free, though. Sandilands takes it out of the air, then a bit too tight for Subban. Swept by Swan. Fasolo protected the ball lower. Fife had to release. Thomas terrific. Lower. So Lower and Thomas together again, as they were in that fateful moment in the opening term and a boundary throw in. Interesting players, that Clark, isn't he? I just feel like he's emerged in the second half of the season. So sweeps at Sandilands. Palmer wanting to give off, decides in to kick now. That's a poor kick. Gee, that's a poor kick.
They force you to kick short, Collingwood, because that's the exact reason why if you kick long, there'll always be an overlapping free player.
But what about Reid? Just such a great feel for the game. Poor kick, and he's still on the end of it. Around the other side, Beams feeds it forward, close to the boundary line. Wood goes back to Beams, kicks inside the forward 50 then. Missed in front by Fawkes, runs free at the back. Taken nicely by Lower. Now running it up the ground, Subin comes close to the boundary line. Johnson committed, loose ball. Broughton leads back to the boundary line, too close. Matthew Richardson is prowling the boundary on a beautiful Perth night.
Well, that Reece Palmer long kick went 50 metres but landed on the 50-metre line. If you're going to kick long, you have to get it to the goal square, and he just had to find a short hit-up option there. The next kick then goes long. That's the difference with the Collingwood team. They go long to the goal square.
So this time, Jolly's free kick. Davis, lovely kick. Just perfect for Wood. Wood playing a lot on the forward line tonight. Good kick out wide to Cloak. Well done, McFarlane. It's been a contest. I mean, Cloak well on top, and McFarlane's had his moments. A lot of free kicks in the ruck tonight. There's Nathan Buckley, who Tom spoke to before the game, and Michael Malthouse.
Look at those magnets there. Not the typical sort of 3x3x3, just clunks of players. It's the modern game.
Pendlebury to side bottom, out wide to Jolly, had time to drop and set something up.
Right on the line of the 50. Sends it long down towards the kick-off line. Trying to force it behind was Anthony. Took a bit of a risk there. Went with the footy, and Tom has often said that's the tough one. Your arm's following the footy. Luckily for him, he made contact. 43 games for Collingwood. Jack Anthony, 80 goals. I mean, that's not a bad return. Bearing in mind when you start, you're a bit nervous. You don't kick goals that often front up, although he did. He had a great run going there at one stage. Ball's out of bounds. Short of the wing, we'll have a throw in. Jolly. Probably when he came to Collingwood, he turned out to be the final piece of the puzzle, a premiership puzzle. Clark works in front, knocks it down. Pierce falling to the ground. Mzungu, Main, good tackle by Davis. Back comes Jolly. Mzungu's got him. Well, Mzungu was going down, but Jolly was not going with him. 5 metres away, another struggle ensues, and the umpire eventually says holding the ball.
He dived on the footy back, Dave. Back it on behind it. He dived on it.
Umpire emphatic. Swan's got the ball. Ball goes against Lower. Shake of the head.
Swan him short. Pendlebury, or rather Goldsack, I should say, to O'Brien. Now Harry likes to load up, we know that. He gets a whole lot of that. Cloak front spot, brings the ball down brilliantly to Blair. What a great goal. What a team they are.
Well, when you can play predictable football, and he obviously didn't lead for the ball, Cloak. The ball was just kicked on his head, but he's so strong from the front position. The ground level crumbers know the ball is going to come in very close to the front and to his feet. And whether it's Cracker or as it was Blair then, they just keep getting to the right spot in that really dangerous crumbing area, 10, 15 metres out in front of the goal square.
Well, this is what we were talking about before. Collingwood had the loose player behind the ball, Harry O'Brien. He runs down the ground, takes an easy mark in the corridor, bombs it long to the goal square. Cloak gives a contest, and like any good small man, front and square Blair, too easy.
Great blocking too by Cloak. Just stopping Palmer. Speaking of the devil, Palmer's got the footy now. Comes out wide. Davis in front. Wharton got a fist on it. Main overran it. Picked up by Crowley. Gives it away to Hill. Whips a hand pass to Clark to Lower. Dropping back, Broughton takes the mark, close to the boundary line. Broughton looks inside, sends it long down towards full forward, working in front almost Johnson, and then took O'Brien high, I fancy. Advantage is played. It was going to be O'Brien's free kick. It was just a touch, but it was high. Davis feeds the ball for Solo, back in his hometown. Gets a hand pass to Swan. Swan almost waits for Johnson to catch up. Back it comes inside to Pendlebury. They're sweeping down the ground, a line of black and white. Swan for Solo. Lines up, goes long. Oh, wonderful team goal. That's a backbreaker.
Yes, there was something of a disputed free kick in that forward 50 for Fremantle, but once Collingwood got the free kick, didn't they spread? And that's what they just do so well. They spread to chase and tackle and pressure the opposition, but when they're in offence and they're running, they just kept overlapping, having the extra Collingwood player there to support.
Well, the last goal was a long kick in from Harry O'Brien, the front and square through the corridor. This one, the typical Collingwood play, build up around the boundary and just ran an absolute wave. You just see black and white absolutely everywhere. And for Solo, a class finish from outside 50.
Well, Sandilands tries to clear the pack, but he went straight to Thomas. So now Johnson, again a good kick forward, and Cloak running hard, taking the mark. Just a little too far out for him. He's a long kick, we know. Kicks to the pocket doors, free kick against him. Subin from Anthony. Subin inviting Dawes to come at him and then kicks along the line. Front spot Johnson. Shammer gets a little kick away. Tuvey got a finger on it. Clever play there by Brown, but he just couldn't quite get a handle on it in the end. He tried to toe poke it to his advantage. Gang tackle coming on Goldsack and a ball up. Came in for the second grand final, Goldsack. Replaced Davis. Got the premiership medal. That's a terrific tap, but went straight through Main's legs for Solo. Back to Tuvey. Back to Brown.
Lee Brown, the old docker, slips a hand pass away. Beams, loops it over the top. Pendlebury needed a bounce, still going. Hard to beat in this situation. Neither player wants the footy. Stolen away by Fasolo. Went looking for support. Going to ground initially was Tuvey. Butters up again. Spills wide of the pack, taken by Pearce. Wonderful tackle by Beams, got him down. Tuvey, Sinclair, Davis. Into the path of Pendlebury. Seems like he's got all day, and generally he has. It goes to Cloak, high, up and under. They come from all directions, sort of. A couple belated to go. Eventually, Cracker weaves through the pack, tries to lay it into the path of Swan, uses Blair as a decoy, turns around and kicks a goal. Nice, nice.
We speak a lot about Dave Swan's athleticism, and we sort of saw it there, that ability actually to be quick and accelerate, get to the front position, and basically he just did a right-hand turn within about 6 inches, dropped everyone off his back, kicked a really easy goal. But his balance is the key issue.
Just the footwork that Dane Swan's able to do at ground level, just has that really great ability to have awareness around the stoppage. It's a bit of it was the comparisons I made earlier in the year with Lee Matthews coming out of the square there. It's a fantastic form.
He's a clever duck, that Swan, isn't he? I mean, he just plays the percentages so well. Matter of fact, straightforward player, but collects so much of the ball and takes the right option. So Collingwood now with the last 6 goals, and they're really destroying the Dockers. Didak, that's a lovely weighted kick. Cracker, well played. Did it brilliantly. Should kick his third. He does.
Gee, they're flowing now. I mean, what we're seeing at the moment is just the sustained running. Fremantle were able to run with Collingwood reasonably well in the first quarter. But now when the ball goes into space, it's just a massive Collingwood jumpers.
The effort's pretty good at the moment from Fremantle at the moment. As you said, just getting it out in space. And Richo, you know Andrew Cracker very well. The Perth boys enjoying it tonight.
He just doesn't go to ground, Tom. That's the difference. His opponent went to ground. Crack holds his feet, kicks an easy goal. But not only is he a good crummer, he actually is a good body player for his size. Works his opponents under the ball well and holds his feet. Very good player.
A lot of black and white in that crowd too. He feels right at home down there. Sandilands brushes the ball with his boot. Lower's tried hard as he kicks it down towards half forward. Davis coming across on the angle. Goes back. Tuvey. Sinclair. Sinclair gets it back from O'Brien. Just lobs it into the path of Didak. Didak making his own arrangements a bit out there. Just getting plenty of the footy. Goes to Fasolo. Fasolo playing game number 10. 13 goals, including 5 against the Bombers back in round 19. There's Sinclair. Well, he missed the target. Mick won't like that. It was over the head of Johnson. He will like that, though. Thomas gets it down towards half forward. Well done by Dawes. Does the heavy lifting, including Clark. Put him down. Blair slips a hand pass away. Thomas uses the run past him by Johnson as a decoy. We've seen a bit of that. Goes down towards full forward. Getting back is Johnson. The other Johnson. Fox gave it across towards Duffield. Duffield goes to Mzungu.
And Mzungu takes his time. It's a pretty good kick, actually. Bradley had to either control it or take it out, and he did not neither. They might get away with it. Subin to Lower. Dennis has talked about Lower's effort so far. He tried to dribble it as far as he could. Brown swept it to side bottom, to Didak, to Wood, back to Didak. Now Didak thinking to Swan now. This was on the goal, you'd reckon. Swan's 50. Well, won't with that. Still might. In the pocket. Boundary throw in. Richo saved me from defeat.
Ibbetson's gone, Bruce. That shoulder popped out for a second time in this contest here. It was a brave effort by him to go back on. They retaped it. It's obviously very loose, that shoulder, and they've had to sub him off. And Hinkley is now into the game.
Boundary throw in. Sandilands could have been in the back of Jolly. Jolly makes a point with the umpire. Meantime, it comes to Cloak, goes back to Johnson. Slips a hand pass away to Tuvey on his knees. Johnson tries to bullock his way through. And he's getting a free kick for a high tackle. Johnson spotted something. You can see he goes down towards the pocket. His eyes lit up like a couple of sherrits. And he finds Pendlebury on the boundary line. Now, nothing is beyond this young man.
Just the one kick tonight for Scott Pendlebury. The 11 possessions, the one kick, 10 hand passes.
Well, that's okay. I thought for a minute you were saying one possession, Tom.
No.
Pendlebury just jabs at it, misses virtually everything, forced across the line by Sandilands.
Fantastic season again. I think he'd be challenging Swan and Cloak, and probably for the Copeland. There might be one or two others who've had such a season with Thomas. Another one you'd think of, Davis.
Looking at his numbers for the year, he's almost a complete player. Has the perfect balance between kicks and hand passes, contested, uncontested, tackles, clearances. Outstanding.
And decision making, eh? As good as it gets. So that ball belted back in. Cracker. It's been lively. Here is Pendlebury. Lovely kick. Swan cut it off. I think it was Didak's ball. But Swan just goes bang, crash. A bit like Lethal Lee there. A goal. Now, that was a bit like him.
You mean, Bruce, don't let anyone else have a shot at goal because they might miss. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean courageously winning the ball under pressure and building two blokes over and kicking a goal.
No, well, I must admit, Dane Swan, the low centre of gravity, the quick change of direction, all that kind of thing. I mean, nearly that's one of the great strengths, just so strong over the footy and good ball skills, but terrific balance and strength. See Swan in the foreground. He's actually been up on the 50-metre line, just keeps pushing into space. He just keeps making himself available, doesn't he?
Hit the nail on the head too, Bruce, with Scott Pendlebury. It was a fantastic decision, just summed it up. Hit Swan, goal.
Good bounce back in the middle. Wood first hand to it. Barlow's over it, needs to be careful, gets to his feet. Side bottom kept on coming. Lower, got it back to Hill. Broughton, Hinkley. Now, Hill's away. They need more of that. He kicks down towards half forward. Shamalude's back in the race. Opportunity to the wonderful closing speed. Just got to him. He had to make up 3 metres. He did that in just a couple of strides. So he's feeling very comfortable at the moment. Michael Malthouse, 69-13, approaching half-time.
We've seen Collingwood right at their top here. Didak Building the ball out to centre wing. Good mark for Solo. He's never played in the losing team. Dennis talked about 10 matches, how many goals, all been wins. Not suggesting he's a lucky charm. I think they were a fair team before he came in. Pendlebury's long ball inside. Jolly sets himself, takes a couple out. Dawes got a bad bounce. Anthony's played okay. McFarlane stretches Dawes now, takes a bounce, runs his measure and kicks it terribly. Oh, just in touch, I guess. But just got it all wrong in the boundary throw-in.
From our vantage point up here, we just get a great look at the way Collingwood defend as a team. They have man-on-man mentality, but then also have that ability to roll off into each other's opponents. And when McFarlane looks up, he sees nothing but a wall of black and white.
Reaching over the top, Clark. Got it down to Lower. Bounces it out of bounds. So Lower's doing his job. Mark Harvey, well, I don't know what he's thinking at the moment. I suppose he might be working on a aerodynamic pig. Boundary throw in. This is not going to end well, you think, for the Dockers, but their footy hasn't been bad, actually. Great experience for them. Here's Hill. Drives inside the forward 50. Pitches about 15 metres in from the line and goes out in front of Johnson.
They've just been terrifically efficient tonight, Collingwood. They kicked 11 goals through, so they've been accurate. They've just been so precision-like when they went. They've gone forward. The Dockers have been competitive, but they're just getting thrashed on the scoreboard.
So Clark got in front of Wood, won the tap. Johnson, good smother by Lower. Goldsack, Swan, got a bit on it. Bang, crash, no free kick. Bit stiff there. One of the Collingwood players is hurt. Get back to it in a moment. Broughton, Sinclair in hard. Forks to Main, to Hill. Well played by Sidebottom. The harassment superb. Hill played it well. Gets it across to Hinkley. Smothered though by Tuvey. Taken down by Main. Good contest. Duffield off a step. Gets it inside the 50. Belted forward by Broughton. Pace coming from Davis. Back to Fasolo. And Collingwood stand up again to Thomas. Who for once, well, Nilly does he daisy. Oh, he kept it in, so the umpire said. And then Johnson to Didac. Normally it's Didac doing those tricks. And that
Downfield.
Is that a throw before?
Downfield. Dunk on Didac. Time back on.
So Daisy with a bit of magic, eh?
That's a throw.
That was many things. But these umpires, I think the boundary umpires in particular, are entranced by Collingwood's score.
You've got the free. Go and take it, mate.
Not sure whether the boundary umpires at Subiaco have had a very good patch of footy.
It wasn't against you. Yeah. Scott, this is it here.
Notice, Tommy. Who was in The Illusionist? That was a good movie, wasn't it?
Pierce.
Was he? Sure.
Hugh Jackman, maybe?
Oh, maybe. You're generally a genius with those. I came to you thinking he'll nail this. Meantime, back at the game, Pendlebury does and puts it through.
It's having a bit of fun night to Pendlebury. He's not going off interchange quite as much, just going into the forward line and having a bit of spell off the ball. And one thing you know about Pendlebury, he's got sort of size, so he's a very hard matchup. He's almost a key position size. He's probably 6'3" in the old measurement. He's got plenty of height.
Darren Jolly's down in the Collingwood rooms at the moment. He walked past us before. He's got a cut on his left hand. There was a fair bit of claret coming out of it, so I reckon he's probably gone down to have some stitches and get it cleaned up.
So Pendlebury sits it out. He's one of 4 Collingwood players to have played every match, Pendlebury. Free kick to Lower. And quickly plays on. So Fife draws the man. Clark running onto it. In a step, kicks to full forward. Bradley almost. Well, it wasn't, but it would have. And now Davis running out wide. Gets it to Sidebottom. And then Sidebottom down the line to Swan. No Collingwood players ever won 4 Copelands in a row. Swan might be the first to do it. His second half of this season has been magnificent. Beams his long ball in forward. Didac looking for a goal. He hasn't kicked one for a long, long time. Subin off a step. Gets it out wide to Barlow and he takes the mark. Well, it's like they're playing against a force that is just irresistible here tonight. 5. You look at Collingwood in this form and you say that nobody can beat them.
Yeah, well, they've been good tonight, but I'm not quite sure. I mean, they're really having a go, Fremantle, and they're being competitive, but I'm not quite sure how classy they are. Certainly tonight, they're way out of their depth.
Voice of reason. I'm pleased he's here.
Missing many of their elite players, of course. Clark hooks it down behind. Hard to replace the good ones. Hill over the top. Hinkley. Talked about lower tonight. 17 possessions. Equal game high. Here's O'Brien. Floats one towards. Oh, what a good mark at right half back, or right half forward as it was. Left half back. It was Anthony. He just chipped it. Took something off the kick. It stays in. Fife up and dancing. Barlow finds a way through. Oh, terrific by Blair. Got in his bike and brought him down. O'Brien a hand pass. Well, they're playing in a phone box out there. The same guys eventually. Barlow throws it on the boot. It bounces towards the wing. O'Brien will send it the other way. It's kick to kick. Down towards the 50. Cloak brings some sanity. Takes the mark on his chest. Wheels around. Sweet contact. It's going to be a goal.
Holding the man.
Holding against.
They're holding down. Mark's back here.
Right on the goal line. They've called it against Dada.
It's the arm over the shoulder. Geez, it looked fluent from Travis Cloak, didn't it?
Gee. Didn't appear to be a hold. He didn't call it high. Here's Beams. Good tackle by Fife. Beams got boot to ball. Clark, we've seen this before, a sense of deja vu. Barlow's got the football, got it from Pearce. In short, Johnson slips a hand pass away. Main, Hinkley through midfield. Wayward kick though, it favours Davis, the defender. This will be interesting. Davis, well, I was going to say wouldn't want to take it out of bounds.
He slipped over. Come through, mate.
Really impressed with Leon Davis tonight. Crowley's trying to play the defensive forward role, but Davis is playing his game, defending when he needs to defend, running into space. Interesting call, that one, even with video, isn't it?
It just looked like a good contest, didn't it? Anyway, Cloak was bad luck for him because it's a great kick. Hinkley's ball. Now that could bounce. Oh, no, Brown got him back. So Lee Brown started his career here.
You see Lee Brown, and I think that's been the inclusion of Tarrant obviously out. Wood comes in. They're looking at Lee Brown to fill a defensive role. I don't think we'll see Lee Brown play anywhere other than the back half, and just looking at another option for the Pies for the finals.
He's the utility, isn't he, Lee Brown? Yeah. He was taken 5 in the draft when the Dockers got him. Pavlich, by the way, was taken 4, 1 in front of him. And Hayes will be at 2. Heard the call, not 15. Tuvey, back to O'Brien, to Reid, to Pendlebury. Wide to Wood. Asked a bit of Wood, and he does step it over the line. He's gone, I think.
No, he's waiting on the tackle.
Good call. Saw the umpire rushing him, but it was had nowhere ready to go there, Wood. He's looked okay, hasn't he? It's 11 games this season, so he's getting a bit of footage. So Palmer breaks the tackle.
Across the ground, centre half forward, taken by Hill. Johnson, well, he just stopped. Opportunity for side bottom. Hand passes it forward. Mzungu against the tide. Missed the footy. Crackers away. Alongside for Solo. Going past in the getaway car is Didak. Didak on the 50. Vacant square. Well, it bounced wide of the mark, through for a behind.
The turnover started there from Collingwood. It's just a swarm of numbers. It's the old-fashioned outnumber the opposition. You see on screen there might be 2 Fremantle players, but then there'll be 3 Collingwood players or 4 Collingwood players.
So Jack getting back, and he goes in short. And Palmer. Palmer out of the back pocket. May put this out of bounds on the full. That's just untidy. It's not as if he was aiming at a small target. Grandstand almost coming at him there with Sandilands.
So Reid got it from Wood, and then to Johnson. Now Johnson careful with the left, but a poor kick taken by Sandilands. Just looking up the record books, courtesy of Josh, the biggest margin the Dockers have ever trailed by on this ground at halftime is 60 points. So at the moment they trail by 62. Can they do something about that in the last few seconds? They've got the right bloke with the ball. Hill, he's running out of room, and now he's he's running out of ideas because Collingwood bring him down, and they will lead by the most that anyone's led the Dockers by at half-time as they bring the ball through the centre. And the irresistible Pies lead by 62 at the long break. So half-time here, incident-filled first half. Collingwood kicking all the goals in the second quarter. They lead by 76-14 on Friday Night Footy.